For one family, the wild, remote woods of northern Maine were meant to be a sanctuary. It was their chance to escape a troubled past and build a brand new life, completely off the grid. But just a few months after they arrived, that dream, which was like a fragile bubble, suddenly popped. Their daughter, Stephanie Damron, was either 13 or 14 at the time, as reports vary, walked out of their isolated home and was never seen again. So, what happened to Stephanie in the heart of the Maine woods? Did the family's past finally catch up to them? Or is a darker secret hiding in this quiet rural town? To really get what happened to Stephanie Damron, you have to understand the life her family was trying to build, and maybe the one they were running from. The Damron family parents, Christopher, who goes by Dale, and Lisa Marie, had moved their large family across several states before finally settling on a remote plot of land in New Sweden, Maine. It's a town in Aroostook County, just miles from the Canadian border. Their new home wasn't a house, but a 200 square foot handmade Yort geodesic dome, a clear sign of their commitment to an off grid life. The children were all homeschooled, and their days were spent exploring the vast, dense woods that surrounded them. But this push for isolation wasn't just about living a simple life. It was also an attempt to outrun a difficult past. Years earlier, back in 2015, while living in Texas, both Christopher and Lisa Damron faced serious allegations involving child endangerment. The situation led them to temporarily losing custody of their children, and while the family was eventually reunited, their past wasn't just old baggage they could have left behind. It was like a shadow, clinging to their heels no matter how far they ran. Their isolated life was meant to be a fortress, a way to keep the world out and start over. But the fortress they built couldn't protect them from the tragedy that was about to unfold. September 23rd, 2024 started out like any other day for the Damrons. The parents, Dale and Lisa, were away from the property for a bit, had driven to the nearby town of Persqueak, Isle, for a job interview. Back at the yurt, Stephanie, her siblings, and an 80-year-old family friend named Richard Turgan, who the kids saw as a grandfather, were left on their own. Sometime that afternoon, Stephanie got into a pretty typical argument with her sister. Upset, she did what she often did to cool off. She went for a walk in the woods. It was her sanctuary within a sanctuary. According to Turgan, her last words before she vanished into the dense forest were simple and gave no cause for alarm. "I'll be back." But this time was different. She didn't come back. When her parents got home around 5:30 p.m. and Stephanie still wasn't there, they started to worry. She was last seen wearing blue jeans, a long-sleeved blue shirt, and a pair of black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. She stood about 5 feet tall and weighed 130 pounds, had shoulder-length brown hair and green eyes. As the hours turned into a cold night, the family began their own frantic search, sending out their dogs and checking the familiar path they thought she'd be on, but there was no sign of Stephanie. It was as if she had dissolved into thin air. The family searched through the night, but by the next morning, with still no sign of her, they made the call around 11 a.m. on September 24th, nearly 24 hours after she was last seen. Stephanie Damron was officially reported missing to the Aroostook County Sheriff's Office and Maine State Police. The response was immediate and massive. The FBI was brought in, reportedly including their elite child abduction rapid deployment team, our CARD team, to assist local law enforcement. It was a huge operation. According to her fathers, searchers on foot combed over 4,500 acres of that punishing northern Maine wilderness. But searching for her in that vast, tangled landscape was like trying to find a single drop pin in an entire forest. Canine units, including highly trained cadaver dogs, were deployed. Drones and helicopters scanned the dense canopy of trees from above, while divers searched the area's many ponds and streams. Investigators conducted numerous interviews not just in Maine but across the country and into Canada. Still, they found nothing. The trail didn't just go cold. It was as if it was never there to begin with, like trying to follow a footprint in the middle of a river. The investigation was complicated from the start by the family's history and the delay in reporting her missing. Her father later said he thought he had to wait 24 hours to file a report, a common misconception that cost them precious time. It also reportedly took a couple of days before the wider community was even aware a child was missing. As days turned into weeks, volunteers organized public searches and the community rallied, putting up posters, creating social media groups to spread the word. But the dense, unforgiving terrain and the complete lack of evidence left everyone with more questions than answers. With no physical evidence and no confirmed sighting, the case quickly fell into a fog of speculation where theories sprouted like wild mushrooms. A few main possibilities have emerged, each one with its own disturbing implications. The first and maybe the most straightforward is that Stephanie intended to run away or simply fell victim to the elements. She had a history of walking off into the woods to be alone. Though she had always returned within a few hours, the pattern suggests she may have planned to come back, but perhaps got lost or injured in the vast wilderness. The temperatures dropped significantly that night, and exposure is a very real danger in the Maine woods. A second theory exploits a more sinister possibility, that Stephanie was lured away by someone she met, perhaps online. This has led to widespread online rumors that she might have had a secret phone and arranged to meet someone at the end of their long 3/4-mile driveway. Some have claimed to have heard a vehicle around the time she disappeared, and that the scent dogs tracked her trail to the road, where it stopped. It's critical to note, however, that law enforcement has never publicly confirmed these details. For now, a trail that stops at the road is like a sentence cut off mid-thought, and it remains unverified speculation. The family itself has come under intense public scrutiny. Their past legal troubles in Texas, their off-grid lifestyle, and the delay in reporting her missing have all fueled suspicion. For their part, Stephanie's parents have cooperated with the investigation, but have also shared their frustration, saying they believe their daughter was taken and that police should be doing more to publicize the case nationally. Finally, some have wondered if there's connection to other local unsolved cases, like the 2021 disappearance of Adeline Shaw. However, police have stated there is no evidence connecting Stephanie's disappearance to any other cases. With no solid leads, investigators have indicated that all possibilities are still being considered, from a runaway scenario to the worst case scenario. Today, more than a year later, the search for Stephanie continues. Her 14th and 15th birthdays have passed without her. The case is still active, but her parents fear the momentum is slowing down. In December of 2024, the FBI announced a $15,000 reward for any information that leads to Stephanie's safe return, or for evidence leading to the arrest of anyone involved in her disappearance. They're hoping this will encourage someone, somewhere, to come forward with that one small detail that could act as the key to unlocking this entire mystery. Stephanie Damron is still missing. Her family and community are still waiting for answers. Sharing her story keeps her name and her face in the public eye. If you have any questions at all about the whereabouts of Stephanie Damron, no matter how small you think it is, you are urged to contact the Maine State Police at 1-800-824-2261 or the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Please take a moment to share this story. The more people who know Stephanie's name, the better chance that she will have one day to be found. In the comments below, please share your thoughts on this case respectfully. For Stephanie and her family, let us keep hope alive. And let's also pray that she is found.